here. Yeah.
Is your Zoom zooming?
Yeah. Okay. I'm zooming.
Okay, welcome everybody. We are so excited, Ashreinu, that we are able to sit together with our holy chaver from Yerushalayim Yer HaKodesh, with Mera Elkabaz, who is one of the most energetic and amazing Breslover Mashpiyim these days. Everybody should take a look at his the different options for his shirim on SoundCloud. A whole like thousands of shirim, and they're organized by Torah and subject, and it's totally amazing. The mayor is originally from Toronto and has a lot of chaverim over here, and every time he comes, he fills us with such simcha and such achdus and achva, really, and brings us this incredible energy from Yerushalayim Yer HaKodesh.
Yeah.
And brings us all the years that he spent by Breslov and Meir Sharim and by all the big mashpiyim. We're so thankful and fortunate that we have Meir with us. And so Meir's gonna give a shir, and we'll have questions afterwards, and we'll schmooze a little bit afterwards also.
Thank you for having me. It's been a wonderful journey, this tour we're doing. We're going to go tonight. You saw the topic, how to get out of depression. Bezat Hashem. It's a heavy topic. But Bezat Hashem, we're going to go step by step, stage by stage, to explain first the power of Simcha, its parameters, and then we're going to go to show as it relates to depression, what can be used to get out of depression. Bezat Hashem, that's the goal, okay? So first, we have to outline in the Torah that there's a mitzvah to be happy. This is the wording of Rabbi Nachman. Mitzvah gedola liot besimcha tamid. It's a big mitzvah to be happy always. And Litvaks always ask, where's it written? Where's it written that it's a mitzvah to be happy? It's very simple. It's in Parshat Kitavo. Parshat Kitavo is towards the end of the Chumash. There you have all the curses, 98 curses. If you don't follow the Torah, then you get hit, boom, 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 terrible things, okay? And then it says there, all this is happening tachat asher lo avadtem et Hashem Elokechem besimcha uvtuv levav. All this is happening because you didn't serve Hashem with joy. It doesn't say because you didn't serve Hashem, which we think that's what it should have said. Tachat asher lo avadtem et Hashem Elokechem. Because you didn't serve Hashem, you're getting punished. No, you could be serving Hashem, but the punishments are coming because it's a repercussion from not serving Hashem besimcha. There's the joy factor, which is the key for being protected from the damage of the curses mentioned in the parsha. Meaning that this is what is needed in order to have like a safeguard and a protection that a person shouldn't fall out. Meaning what? That when punishment comes out, is activated against the Jewish people nationwide or on a personal level, it's because of a lack of simcha, period. A lack of simcha. A person can do everything. We can getting up midnight, davening nets every morning, daf yomi, learning, tzedakah, chesed. But if he's Tisha B'Av, sad and heavy, he's apt to fall off of that. It's a big chance it's gonna fall off that. So that's what the Torah is saying. That's the key here. Okay. So this we have to see is already stressed and illustrated in the Torah. A few things on this side I'd like to bring up. Rabbeinu Bachye on the Chumash, on the Torah, Parshat Naso, he does something amazing. He says that of every mitzvah you do, there's also another second mitzvah that can be activated. For example, there's the mitzvah of tefillin, mitzvah of Shabbat, Yom Kippur, Etshog, Lulav, Tzedakah, Talmud Torah, Kibud Avayim, okay? You get a mitzvah for doing the mitzvah, okay? If now you do the mitzvah with joy, you get a second mitzvah for doing that mitzvah with joy. He learns it out. It's in Parshat Naso, where it says Avodat Avodah. There is, by the Levim, they had the service called Avodat Masa, that the Levites had the work of carrying the beams of the Mishkan, etc. And they had a second service, which was Avodat Avodah, the service of singing and playing the musical instruments at the Duchan in the Beit HaMikdash while the Kohanim were doing their avodah of the sacrifices. It's called an avodah. Avodah is the term for a mitzvah, and it's playing music, which is happy. So Rabbeinu Bachai learns out that this applies to all the mitzvot in the Torah, that when you do the mitzvot b'simcha, okay, then you're credited with another mitzvah. Rav Nosson goes even a step further. Rav Nosson writes in the Kutei Halachot that the simcha in doing a mitzvah, get ready for this, it's a shaker. He tells us that the shul will fall off, okay? The simcha in doing a mitzvah is even greater than the mitzvah itself. You hear that? Unbelievable. The simcha in doing a mitzvah is even greater than the mitzvah itself. So you would think if that's the case, so let's push to the side the mitzvot. Let me just be happy. Let me get drunk and get a high and be happy, and then that's that. No, the simcha generated from the mitzvah is what creates this type of joy that's lasting and that's powerful. I'm bringing all types of sources. I just want to hear the sources, and then we're going to get to the flesh, the meat, Zet Hashem, okay? The Gemara in Masechet Brachot, page 30, brings a story, two stories, identical, of two different Amoraim, Rabbi Zera and Abaye, that they were exceedingly happy, extremely happy. So one, Rabbi Zera was asked or by his disciple, and the other Abaye was asked by his Rebbe, or vice versa. What are you so happy about? It's a problem to be happy. The Gemara says a warning that a person should not memales chok pi ba'olam hazeh. A person shouldn't be overly happy in this world with worldly matters, okay? So they said to him, they said to both of them, you got to take it easy. You can't be so happy. They brought a pasuk. One pasuk says in Tehillim, vegilu bir'ada. You should rejoice, but with trepidation. In other words, have a limitation. Don't overdo it. Be careful. Watch your place. In other words, have a limitation. And another pasuk from Mishneh, b'chol etzev ye motar. Gemara interprets like this: etzev, which means sadness, atzvut, ye motar. Motar means a yitaron. There's an advantage to be sad. Yes, you need in life to have a limitation to be sad. So both Amoraim answered the exact same answer. They both said, I'm wearing tefillin. I'm wearing tefillin, and because I'm wearing tefillin, I have every right to be extremely happy without limits. That's what commentators in the Gemara say, that when it comes to what's called simchat ha-mitzvah, being happy in doing a mitzvah, I have the right to be happy with no end, no limit, okay? This is what the Gemara teaches about the power of simcha as it relates to the mitzvot. Now, Rabbi Nachman in the Kutei Moran and Rav Nosson in the Kutei Halachot, they go a step further and they say that simcha is the key to help you personally now in what you're going through. Okay, that's what the mitzvot, fine and dandy. There's mitzvot and everything. But to tell you the truth, I'm not always doing mitzvot, and I don't feel so motivated doing mitzvot. And in fact, in my daily life, this is where I need simcha. You're talking about being simcha and mitzvah. First, let me be happy with myself. And then let's talk about simcha and mitzvot. I need now happiness in my life. And that's the truth. Yes, in order to do mitzvot b'simcha, I have to be already, I have to have the criteria of being already a happy person in order to do the mitzvot b'simcha, right? So this is the next stage that Rabbi Nachman teaches. Yes, it's true. You're going to need simcha in life big time. Because, he says, Rav Nosson explains, the key for you to have a breakthrough at every juncture in your life, every situation you're faced with a major challenge, and you don't know what to do, and you start going crazy, anxiety, stress, what am I going to do? This, that. Should I speak to that rabbi, or this therapist, or this person, and this, or this friend? And you go nuts, about 5,000 options. You don't know what to do, and you're anxious, and you're worried. Here, Rav Nosson, Rabbi Nachman explain, your key out, believe it or not, is to be b'simcha. It's the pasuk. The pasuk says, ki b'simcha tetzeu. The pshat on this pasuk is, it's talking about the future redemption, B'ezrat Hashem. And Hashem says that when Mashiach comes, the Jews will leave out of joy. Rabbi Nachman reinterprets like this, ki b'simcha, through, with simcha already, that's how you get out. You need a prerequisite of simcha beforehand. And he interprets, to come out is not just the final redemption when Mashiach comes. Every time you're stuck in life, your opening will be b'simcha. Okay? So all that said, and we hear this, okay, now what to do? Where's the simcha? So Rabbi Nachman said, he gave powerful advice. How to be simcha. I think you guys are going to all crack up tonight. Everyone's have a very serious face tonight because it's Toronto cold, you know. I'm going to get you guys cracking up tonight, Bezat Hashem, to break the ice, okay? Rabbi Nachman's main teaching to be happy is to act silly and tell jokes. He said the way people are walking around Tisha B'Av and sad and depressed, the only way today to get people happy and really in a positive attitude is by, yes, telling jokes and acting silly. Rav Nosson explains why. Because the simcha of holiness has fallen so much in the realm of impurity and the domain of the bad. The only way that I can extract it is if I act silly and tell jokes. So, okay, are you guys ready? All together now. Oh, my darling, oh, my darling. Oh, you're laughing? You're not laughing. Oh, my darling, Clementine. With the laughs, hello. Okay, good. I got it. Broke the ice. Thank you. You see how it works? You see it works? It works. Acting silly, you feel better now, right? You feel better? Mister, you feel better, right? Just a little bit. Please tell the truth. You feel better? The one after you, the guy after you. You see it? That's what I mean, you okay? It works, right? It works. It looks funny. That's the advice, to act silly and tell jokes. You feel what's called the akala in Hebrew. You feel a lightness. This is the main advice, to dance and to be silly and act happy. If it works, it does the job, then the benefit is greater than the loss. Okay, to act serious and everything, I'm in the show now and everything. But you're losing out. What you lost out by the lack of simcha, it's chaval. The gain you get by acting silly and the loss of looking stupid and everything, that loss, that detrimental activity of losing out because I'm acting silly is nothing compared to the gain that I'm now feeling better. I'm feeling good. Now with this, if I go now, put on tefillin, I go do Shabbat, I feel better now. There was a story in Poland before the war. There was a Breslover, or Benzion Apter, and he went to visit a sick Breslover. There was a Breslover who wasn't well. And he went to do the Mitzvah Bikkur Cholim. So he went to this house of this Breslover who's lying in bed. And he said, Benzion, I'm happy you came. Oh, I'm so happy. Help yourself with a bowl of soup. He made a big pot of soup. He said, take some soup. So Rabbi Benzion took the soup. And he said, this is a soup of sadness and depression. He poured the soup on the floor, on the living room floor, and he took the sick guy out of the bed, and he started dancing with him. He said, now make another bowl of soup, make a pot of soup, and you'll see it'll taste better now. Simcha has its repercussions. Simcha has its repercussions. One more time, please. Oh, my darling. Sing with me, please. Don't be Canadian cold, please. Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling. Clementine. Okay, good. Thank you. All right. One of Rabbi Nachman, a story that illustrates how Simcha opens up the doors and grants you salvation that you didn't expect. There's a famous story of Rav Zusha Vanipoli and his brother, Rav Elimelech of Luzhensk. And you probably read all those art school stories about these two tzaddikim. There was a time in their life that they were on a self-imposed galut, and they were traveling from shtetl to shtetl in Eastern Europe. They came to one village where there was a curfew at night. There was a night curfew. And anyone out on the streets after like 8 p.m., they were arrested, put in jail until the morning, even though they were innocent, just as a preliminary precaution to protect the village from thieves, robbers, murderers. Everyone out on the streets after 8 p.m. was arrested. They got to the village 10 to 8 and didn't have time to prepare like a lina, a place, the lodgings, etc. So the police saw them, they were caught, they took them, and they were dressed incognito. They weren't like dressed as Rebbe's and Admorim. They were dressed as simple people, so no one knew it was them. So they were arrested with Elimelech, with Zusha, they were put in the jail cell. And the jail cell was a big room with mattresses all around. And there was the toilet in the middle of the room to relieve themselves, which means you can't daven, you can't learn, you can't say Kriyat Shema, nothing. In the presence of this item, the toilet, it's forbidden, the smell also, you can't do anything. So Rabbi Melech was sad. He was broken. And Rav Zusha, the older brother, was always the happy one. He told Rabbi Melech, why are you so sad? He said, look, I can't daven, I can't learn. I have to daven Mariv now, I have to do Kriyat Shema, nothing. What do you want, garnished? I have nothing. And he reminded, he couldn't say the halacha, but he said, but now you're doing for the first time in your life, you, Mr. Perfect, Rabbi Melech of Luzhensk, the big tzaddik, the big macho tzaddik, for the first time now, you can be able to do the mitzvah what says in the halacha, on the Shulchan Aruch, there's a halacha that says, if now you have to do a certain mitzvah, and you cannot because you're in a scenario like that, where there's a bathroom, and you can't say Shema, so you say in your heart, it's a siman in Shulchan Aruch, Ribono Shel Olam, I want to do your will, but I cannot do your will because of the scenario. So please, Hashem, let it be considered ke'ilu, as if I did the mitzvah. Halacha says you are accredited as if you actually did the mitzvah. So he told him, Rabbi Melech, now for the first time in a situation like this, you're going to be missing your Marv, missing Kriyat Shema. Oh, you're Elimelech missing his Kriyat Shema and Marv. Oh my God, right? Whoa, holy smokes. Now you're missing it, and you're now going to be doing this mitzvah for the first time. And he got him so hyped up, they started dancing. All the inmates, these broken people, in Yiddish, Tzabruchen mentioned, all these broken people, Goyim and Jews alike, they see these two funny guys dancing and looking at them. Rav Zusha and see everybody also looking at them. They took everybody's hands, they started dancing in a big circle around the toilet, and they're singing and singing. The warden comes and, what's this noise? What's going on? They said, it's because of the toilet. He said, oh, really? He opened the cell, he took out the toilet. Rav Zusha told him, now you can daven. What's the point? There's such a powerful point here. Is that the simcha brings the solution, period. Ki besimcha tetzeu. With joy, you get out. Hashem sends you an unexpected solution. You didn't even think about it. It comes your way. When you have joy and you're happy, it draws you the salvation. The openings come your way. When you start worrying, oh my God, the worry itself generates the negativity around you. So that you're meeting the wrong people. You have it happen sometimes when you have a bad day. All of a sudden, the pen falls out. You can't now close the bottle properly. The cap falls off, and you're cursing every second. Oh, darn it! Everything's like not working out because of the negativity generated. It's causing negativity. Yes. So the opposite. When there is simcha, it draws simcha. Another parable. This one I want to get to. Rabbi Nachman's main story of joy. How a person can be saved by joy. Is his analogy, this little parable that he brought of a clay digger. He was a clay digger in Eastern Europe. His job was digging clay, and he came across a giant diamond, a giant jewel. He said, whoa, this must be worth tons. He went to the local jeweler in Eastern Europe in his little village. I said, I want an appraisal. How much does this cost? He said, I can't give you an appraisal. It's too big. I don't know how much it costs. So what am I supposed to do? All I can tell you to do is you have to go all the way to England, to the biggest diamond exchange in London. There they can appraise you this big diamond. So this Jew, he sold everything he had. He sold his house, sold his wagon, his horses, sold everything to buy a ticket for transportation to get to England. His money ran out at the edge of the European continent, so he couldn't sail across to England. He saw there at the ports a giant, massive ship, captain. And he approached the captain. He says, look, my money is here. He showed him the diamond. My money is here. Okay? I will pay you. I promise you. I have money here. You can see. I don't have any cash on me right now. Please let me on your ship. And I promise you, I will pay you as soon as I cross. The captain saw the diamond. He saw he was an honest person. He said, no problem. Welcome. He gave him the penthouse suite on the ship, giant ship. He came with him in his room, brought his little baggage, whatever he had with him, sat down with him. The Jew took out his little toast and everything, and he's eating whatever he had, his crackers, whatever he brought with him. And the captain's sitting down with him because he's a wealthy guy. He has money with this diamond. So he's sitting down, talking, etc. And then the Jew, after the exhaustion of the journey, he began to doze off. So the captain left him alone. While he was dozing off, and he had the diamond on the tablecloth. Okay, he had the food, his crumbs, what he finished, and he had the diamond in front of him so he can enjoy his future good fortune. The steward came in to clean up because it's a fancy schmancy penthouse in the boat, right? So the steward, he came in and he didn't notice the diamond on the table. He just wrapped all the tablecloth, went to the deck, and shook everything off, including the diamond. The Jew woke up after 10 minutes. He sees the table is crystal clean, nothing on the table. He flipped out. He understood what happened. He said, I'm finished. My life is finished. He's going to kill me, the captain. He's a ruthless, tough captain. You can see on his face. He's going to destroy me. What can I possibly do? He got started to be anxious and worrying what to do. He realized the one thing he can do that can save him from death, from sure death, is to pretend that everything's okay. He said, this is the one thing I can do. There's nothing else I can do. Start to tell him the truth. I lost that he's going to kill me for sure. So he said, I'll pretend that as if nothing is wrong, and I'll pretend to be happy. So he did that. Happy. And the captain came like after 20, 30 minutes, knocked on the door. The captain was at the door, he let him in. And the captain came with a very like serious, but like submitted face expression. And he said, yes, how can I help you? He says, listen, I see you're a very honest man. I have a big request, a big favor to ask of you. On this giant ship, I have an entire load. The whole ship is filled with wheat for the whole your English nation, the whole English country, the United Kingdom. Tons of wheat here. And the value, believe it or not, exceeds your diamond. Your diamond that you have, as big as it is, but the wheat on this ship exceeds that. Do me a favor, okay? I'm recognized by the English government as a common merchant. And because of that, the tax rate for me to bring in the wheat is very high. You, as a newcomer, the taxes it'll be like a fraction of what I have to pay. Do me a favor, please, let's sign off everything on your name. The whole entire cargo on this giant ship on your name. And when we cross the taxes in England, let's switch it back. So he said, so thank God, this is possibly, this favor is what's going to save me. They did that. He signed it off on his name, okay? We crossed the border, they paid the taxes, whatever it was. And then right after that, the captain began to have like a heart attack, chest pain, gasping. He collapsed and died, leaving all of the wheat under the name of the Jew, okay? Rabbi Nachman finishes this parable, this analogy, with the following statement. He says that the diamond really did not belong to the Jewish guy. Proof being, it was taken away from him. However, the wheat is what really did belong to him. Okay? Proof being that that's what stayed with him. And how did he come to what was really his? By even pretending to be besimcha, pretending to be happy. This is what brought him to what was his destiny. This is exactly what we're saying tonight. That the simcha, working on the simcha, is what is going to bring a person to what's really his. Your real address in life. There's a blockage. Yes, there's a blockage. What's needed to open that blockage is simcha. Not only will simcha open the blockage, but it's going to bring you to the true address. The reason why a person is stuck and things are not working out is the person has the wrong address. Something is upside down here. Now, for me to get, based on this story, for me to get to my right address, I have to work on the midah of simcha. Even faking it, like in this story, even acting silly, okay? Now, more than this, here's another example in this story, that when a person even pretends to be happy, it generates salvation. Did he, in his mind, think of this possibility that the captain would ask him of this favor? He didn't even think about it. He wasn't even thinking that this could happen. Totally unexpected, but it came his way because he took on a simchadik, positive attitude to activate, okay? With all this, now we can face the topic of depression. The Ramban, this commentary in the Chumash, he points out pretty clearly the connection between the nervous system, which is called Ma'arechet Atzabim. Atzabim is Ayin Tzadik Bet Yud Mem, and the word for sadness in Hebrew, which is Atzvut, which is also Ayin Tzadik Bet as its root. He explains the Ramban that they have a same root in their wording to show us that one affects the other, that sadness has a direct relationship on the nervous system, period. Everybody says everything because it's known in medical science, in Torah science, in Rambam science, if you want, that the nervous system functioning properly, that's everything. If the nervous system is down, it's a breakdown, that's the beginning of kidney problems, heart problems, artery problems, blood problems, all the things start with the nervous system collapsing. Chas v'shalom. The Ramban's pointing out, atzvut, if it's generated, it deteriorates the atzabim, the nerves. Meaning, simcha, the opposite, heals the nerves. This is why Rabbi Nachman teaches that simcha is the big healer. When a person is faced, God forbid, with malady, sickness, his first priority before anything is to be happy. And when you hear this, it's so funny because you assume that with this, you can understand that it's very possible that people get more sick from the bad news that the doctor gives them than the actual sickness themselves. When a person did a blood test or something, Okay, he could have been at a certain level. Doctors, I have bad news to tell you, right? And the bad news he tells him makes him feel so bad that it gets him even sicker, chas v'shalom. So what does it help? By the Torah standards, a doctor has one mission. Verapo yirape, period, to heal. His job is to heal, not to give you bad news. A doctor has no right to give you bad news. He has to give you the good news. There's no good news to say, so don't say anything. Don't say anything, because you're not going to help. You give him the bad news, he's going to feel even worse, chas v'shalom. You're going to make him die like that. Who knows all the people that we know and this and that, if now their death was attributed to the bad news given to them, making them feel bad, nervous system collapsing, and then yes, things happen. And they say, oh, he died because of this, because of that. He died because of your stupid bad news. You hear that? This is the power of being positive. It's a force. It's real. It's not a joke. We could be talking about it. But if you do like I do, oh my darling, okay? I'm not smiling yet. It's supposed to make you smile. Come on, Torontonians. Come on, get out of the cold, please, okay? It's supposed to be besimcha, even for a joke. With a happy, positive attitude, you get forward. It pushes you forward. It's something Rav Nosson stresses again and again and again, that simcha is the key. You have a struggle, you have a challenge, you don't know what to do. So what to do? You have 5,000 options. Again, like this doctor, this rabbi, this person, and you say, but I have to do something. Come on, I'm not stupid now. I have to do something. Ajaba, you have to be in the right mindset for hashgacha pratit to be activated and come your way to openings. That's what I need to do. Yes, that demands that I get in a simcha mode. So going back, we said Rabbi Nachman's main advice for being happy is to act silly and tell jokes. But I can see it doesn't always work. You try it. You can try it once, twice. Like, okay, enough already. I got the joke already. I can't say all day long, oh my darling, because you guys will get sick of it afterwards. You won't laugh anymore, right? So something else is needed. He has another advice. Another advice is to put on music, to dance, to move, to clap your hands, to get in a very, hype-up attitude, good, positive, good nigunim. If you need Karlebach music, Yuda Green or Dveikis or whatever, Breast of Nigunim or Chabad or Visionist, whatever you need, whoever it is, I don't know, Yaakov Shweki, I don't know. If you need heavy metal, whatever, I don't know. But something that gets you feeling good and positive, uplifted, do it. Do it, because your simcha is the big factor now to open up the doors in your life. Third advice Rabbi Nachman gives, which is difficult, yes, but it's out there, and there's a lot of emphasis on this, is to find your good points. This is especially true for getting up in the morning. You have a person who aims to get up on davening time. You get up at 7 or 6, he sets an alarm clock, and he wakes up at 10 o'clock. So that type of a person like that, what happens normally? Oh, darn it. And he starts cursing and everything. I woke up, he's like upset now, he's already negative, right? But that's not what the Torah requires. The Torah says the first thing you say when you wake up, whether you wake up at 10 a.m. or 6 a.m., you got to say, Modeh. The first thing you have to do, according to halacha, you say, thank you, Hashem, thank you. And he modeh lecha. Whether I woke up 10, 11, 12, 1 in the afternoon, 2, I have to say, Modeh. That's the halacha here, right? The Torah is teaching us the attitude in getting up in the morning, giving thanks, and being happy about my good points. Appreciate what I have and not what I don't have. That it's true. Everything we're speaking now theoretically makes sense, and we know that practically it's easy. It's difficult. I'm from experience. I'm telling you, it's not easy. You wake up, you have a negative attitude, and the day goes down because the beginning of the day was on the wrong side of the bed. So automatically the davening was not so good, the learning, the shalom bayit, the kids, and the work, it just brushes off in the rest of the day, but everything's negative. But it's there to find the good, to stop, to break that domino effect, and to put in a good thank you and a good appreciation towards Hashem can stop that flow and make things change. So we have 3 advices here. Acting silly, making jokes, that should be priority. Doesn't work, then we have putting on some good music, dancing, clapping your hands. Number 2. Number 3, finding the good points, thanking Hashem for the good points, appreciating that Baruch Hashem, I get to serve you. Baruch Hashem, little me, as upside down as I am, I get to put on tefillin, keep Shabbat. Wow, to appreciate that. Another advice he brings, which is really strong, which is really far-reaching, is that a person needs a tzaddik in his life. You hear this? Person needs a tzaddik. See, it's a Hasidic idea, because people think I have my shul, I have my art scroll daf yomi, I have my Torah study, I have Hashem. What do I need? Why do you drive me crazy? You breast rivers about having a tzaddik. You know, why do I need a tzaddik? Oh, a tzaddik is someone who can give you a constant boost to have new vitality and strength to start again and be positive in life, no matter what happens, no matter what you go through. If you have a tzaddik, it's like an agreement, like a bond. This tzaddik will make sure no matter what you go through, he will be out there for you to give you that encouragement and that simcha to start again, B'ezrat Hashem. Rav Nosson explains this idea in relationship to the Churban Beit HaMikdash, the destruction of the temple. It says in the Gemara, besides the Kotel HaMaravi, the western wall that wasn't destroyed, also the foundations of the Beit HaMikdash were not touched. The enemies, the Romans and the Babylonians, they burnt the temple up to the Yesod, the foundation, velo ad bichla, but not including the foundation. In other words, the foundation was untouched, it was burnt until the foundations. Yesod, in terminology of Kabbalah, Chassidut, refers to the tzaddik. Tzaddik, it's a pasuk in Mishneh, but tzaddik, Yesod Olam. And the tzaddik is the foundation of the world. It's the foundation. In our context, the Beit HaMikdash is burnt up to the Yesod. Rav Nosson explains, everybody has a personal Beit HaMikdash that's burnt. You have your head, which is the Kodesh Kodashim, the Holy of Holies. And you have like the altar, the Mizbeach, which is the heart, like that song, Bilvavi, Mishkan Evne, right? The Mishkan is like the tabernacles in the heart, the Kodesh, the Holy of Holies is the brain. And a person, with what he goes through in life, and what he does, he's burnt. He's burnt his own miniature Beit HaMikdash. When I go through my life, I've burnt my temple. However, the burning is up to the Yesod, meaning if I have a tzaddik that I'm connected to, a true tzaddik who has power to inspire me and to give me this vitality whenever I need that boost in my life. So even though I get burnt, it's up to the Yesod. It's up to the foundation and not including the foundation, meaning what? That if now I have access to a tzaddik, my being burnt won't burn this concept and this thing of being attached to a tzaddik. That's untouched. That is left pure, untainted, and it's out there for me to have access, okay? So we have all these advices, how to be b'simcha, and this shows that what they say, depression and anxiety, and he has to take this type of a pill and that, a person should seriously first try to work from the direction of activating simcha in life. It's because obviously nobody speaks about it, that people fall more and more into sadness and depression, and it's a domino effect. If now people were to emphasize, be happy, and don't be embarrassed about it. That's the whole thing now. People are embarrassed of actually and do my darling, right? People are embarrassed. But if it's going to save you, it's going to save other people, it's going to generate a smile on the face, and it's going to work. So use it. That's it. It's not just to be used, B'ezrat Hashem. Again, it's hard in this society, but this is what's needed. This is probably what's needed to break the stone there, is to activate the simcha. So this is Rabbi Nachman's key to be saved from sadness and depression. And it's possible that a person doesn't fall to that level of using medication and this and that. Simcha is a refuah. Simcha is the key. B'ezrat Hashem. We'll finish off with this one last teaching of the Zohar that teaches how far-reaching is simcha, and it's connected to the parsha of the week a little bit. We saw in Vayera. Okay, the Zohar says that there is a scenario that yes, tshuva cannot help a person. The Zohar says on the pasuk, "Vayitatzev elibo." The pasuk is the end of Parshat Bereshit regarding the generation of the flood. And Hashem was fed up with the generation of the flood. They were so blemished and so perverted and so immoral, etc. So the pasuk says, "Vayitatzev elibo," and Hashem was saddened in his heart. So the Zohar points out that the grammar here doesn't fit in. Vayitatzev means, as opposed to vayeatzev, vayitatzev means that the sadness is coming from within. Okay, so if the sadness from within, so the verse should read vayitatzev belibo, in his heart, and Hashem was made saddened from within his heart. Okay, belibo, but the verse doesn't read that way. The verse reads vayitatzev elibo. What's elibo?